how does cloud computing work? You know, it's not actually magical. To people who don't know much about it, it seems very magical, you know, mysterious, but we're here to demystify the cloud. So essentially, you've got either virtual or physical servers in a data center. And all of that information are stored in the on those servers, again, either virtual, and we'll get into virtualization, either on virtual servers or physical servers. As a cloud provider or somebody who's got cloud services, that's what I would do. I would provide you a way where you can either store or you can run your workloads, your tasks on those servers. And then as a client or as a user of that cloud computing service, you are now going to connect to the internet to use that service rather than using it on your own computer. So the cloud computing provider will give you the compute and the storage and all the network and everything else you need to run your software, and you'll simply connect to the internet and run your software that way. All right, or store your information. All right, many of you have probably heard the term front end and back end in probably many different contexts. But what does that mean in terms of cloud computing? Well, when we say front end and back end. So these are web services. So you access them over the internet. The front end is that interface which is exposed to the client. So for example, I don't know if you've all seen already, or you know, at some point, probably in the next lecture or two, you'll see the AWS console and how you can access it. And if we have time, I'll actually pull it up and we can see it here. But you can see how, or you're able to then access all of the services. So if I want to create a server, if I want to create a storage environment, whatever I want to create, I create through this user interface or this front end interface. They also have what's called a CLI, which you can access those same services, but not instead of a web front end, it's interface, or you access it through the shell or through a command line. And that's what CLI stands for, command line interface. And you can type in your commands and send it to the cloud. But that's the front end. All right, that's how you access the services. And typically the cloud provider will create the front end for you, and it's a way for you to access their services. But then they also manage the back end, right? So the back end is massive. If you can imagine, millions of users and a million or more customers using your infrastructure, it has to be massive. And so they've got physical servers that host virtual servers. They've got lots of storage. They've built out all of the security infrastructure that's necessary, everything required for networking. So everything that's required for you to run your workloads, but not only for you to run your workloads or applications, but also for all of these customers to run their software concurrently. In other words, at the same time, but still be able to maintain your own piece of the cloud. So, that's going to be a key piece that we talk about is security. But in order for the cloud to be successful, each of your environments have to be separated, right? I don't want customer A and customer B to be able to see each other's data, and they don't want each other to be able to see each other's data, or they don't want to be each other to be able to use their software. So it's important to manage the cloud in a way that separates customers. Okay, and sometimes you'll hear that referred to as tenants. You'll hear about a multi-tenant environment. So you have multiple customers in the cloud. It's a multi-tenant environment. Okay, so that's an example of the backend.